So, let's look at that title. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Forgiveness frees me. Let's start with a story. Two friends, two young boys were walking along the seashore, and best of friends, and they had an argument. And the one friend slapped the other one across the face, and it hurt. And they came to the sand and the beach, and the friend who was hurt wrote in the sand, "Today my best friend slapped me." Well, they decided then to go for a swim. And the friend who had gotten hurt got caught up in seaweed and was struggling. And the other friend who had done the slapping went out in the water and rescued his friend. Once the boy who had been hurt kind of regained himself and shook it off what had happened, he went over to a stone and he wrote on the stone, "Today, my best friend saved my life." And the boy who had originally done the slap said to him, "Why do you write, today my best friend hurt me," in the sand, and on the rock you've written, "Today my best friend saved my life"? And the friend said to him, the boy who had been hurt, "When someone hurts us, we should write it down in sand, where the winds of forgiveness will erase it away. But when someone does something good for us, we must engrave it in stone, where no wind can ever erase it." Isn't that a beautiful story? If we could just remember that, right? To put those transgressions in sand. I've chosen to start with a video today, and it's something that I found. It is produced through collaboration among the Dalai Lama Center for Ethics and Transformation. I want to read that again because it's a long title. The Dalai Lama Center for Ethics and Transformation Values and the capital G, capital B, capital H, which is a leading multi-platform creator for public media in America. I had never heard of this. I went to their website, and I would say to all of you, if you like PBS, if you like public radio, public television, you want to check this out. It's based out of Boston, but the good that they are doing for our country is amazing. GBH. So I want to go ahead and start with this video and see if you like it, if it touches you as much as it touched me.
My name is Michael.
My name is Patrina.
My name is Nia.
My name is Norma Cumby.
My name is Tim Severin at East End House. Today's lesson was about forgiveness, so it really fits into the social-emotional development of our middle schoolers.
We challenge the kids to think about situations or people that have made them angry.
You don't want to hold a grudge against someone.
If you don't forgive someone for what they did to you, it's going to haunt you for the rest of your life.
So, as you can see, I have these stones behind me, so I'm gonna ask that you guys brainstorm a time that someone or something has made you angry. So the heavier the burden, the heavier the stone. It's gonna be a symbol of the thing that angered you.
I wrote that someone stole my ball, and then he started stealing other stuff, my other equipment.
Okay, do you still deal with this person now?
No.
Could you forgive him today?
Probably.
There used to be this girl in my class, an old friend of mine, who managed to turn all my friends against me. She still angers me, I guess.
I wrote bees on my rock. They sting a lot of people, and it hurts really bad.
My rock represented my brother's autism and all the negative words people would say about autism and my brother. People call him all these names and whatever, like loser, sped, weirdo, crazy, idiot, stupid, demented. I feel like I need to stand up for my brother. My brother is something that is really important to me.
This is your younger brother? Older brother? Are you doing this to forgive the people for the names that they call him without really trying to understand who he is and how great of a person and how large an impact he obviously has on you? That takes a lot of strength to be able to do that. I appreciate you getting emotional too, because this is what this is about. So you release that and you just be free, okay? Next, we ask you guys to bring backpacks, and we're gonna put your stone in your backpack, and you're gonna walk around. It's like holding onto a grudge. Oh my God.
I felt like exhausted.
It felt like I was breaking.
Middle school is generally a time where self-interest is dominating, but I saw them caring about each other and really celebrate that they could forgive.
When we finished the activity, I said that I wasn't gonna forgive the person, but I think it's been a waste of my time, and I just need to let it go.
I'm forgiving my sister for hurting my leg really bad.
I'm gonna forgive my brother for almost losing my dog.
Yeah, that spoke to me a lot. I'm going to repeat those quotes because I think they were really powerful. Nelson Mandela, most of you know, he was in prison, South Africa, for 27 years. And this quote comes from him. As I walked out the door toward the gate that would lead me to my freedom, I knew if I didn't leave my bitterness and hatred behind, I'd still be in prison. And then the last quote was Mahatma Gandhi, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. And this is a little hard to read, so I apologize. It's what I could work with. But it says, forgive anyone who has caused you pain or harm. Keep in mind that forgiving is not for others, it is for you. Forgiving is not forgetting. It is remembering without anger. It frees up your power, heals your body, mind, and spirit. Forgiveness opens up a gateway to a new place of peace where you can persist despite what has happened to you. Despite what has happened to you. Some of you have been around here long enough with me that I've shared this, not very many times at all, but today is about forgiveness. And my first marriage, I was married almost 5 years. I had married my best friend, and very suddenly, overnight, I was made aware that he was a pedophile and had been molesting children. And I had no idea, other than sex wasn't very often. There was many kids involved. And he was gone out of my life overnight. My kids were 4 and 18 months at the time. And he went to prison, And there's a whole lot of story in between those years until he did go to prison. But I was lost. I was lost. My best friend was gone. I had no idea. And I ended up doing, I was really trying to hold a restaurant together and raise 2 kids. And I didn't realize until I attended a seminar called Life Success Seminars, which used to be in Cincinnati. Self-improvement, 4-day seminar. And through that, we didn't have to, but we had the opportunity to do forgiveness work. And when I saw that boy that was talking about his brother with autism, did you hear, they didn't bring it up, but I heard it. I played it back several times to make sure I heard it correctly. He said he was ashamed that he did not speak up for his brother, for the people that were name-calling him. Well, in my case, I didn't realize that I was raising my kids rooted in anger, rooted in resentment. I was raising my kids with a victim consciousness because it was his fault. And everything I did had a root of anger. And it wasn't until I realized I had to forgive myself first. Because in this seminar, you've got the opportunity to forgive people that have hurt you. And of course, who was on my #1 list, right? And how can I do that? I can't, because I had to forgive myself for the message, how could I be so stupid? How did I not see this? How did I not know, right? And literally, through this forgiveness, I was able to apologize to my kids, who at this time now were 14 and 12, and to tell them that I was sorry, that I was rooted in this anger for their dad. And I went to prison and face to face forgave him. I did not and will not ever forget the act. But I have forgiven the person. And I say to myself, how did I do that? And I'll tell you, my situation in this case, I had to look at him on the day he was born and look at him as a perfect little baby, and what his mother saw when she looked at him as a little baby. And that's how I had to go to prison and see that perfect little child before all the damage happened. So I say this to you and I share it with you because it doesn't matter how big or little your story that you're holding back of little things, as in the little boy who got slapped by his friend, right? Somebody who shoved you into a locker back in the days. I have a friend who was 59 years old and still carrying around from his school age, 3rd grade, when they told him he was not smart enough and he was going to be put back and repeat 3rd grade. 59 years old, still carrying that I'm stupid thought, right? So there's so many ways, and what is it? How many times are we supposed to forgive? Do you remember what it says in the Bible? 79. So does that mean 49? No. As many times. 7 is a metaphysical number, meaning however many times it takes to completion. How many days did they put in the creation story? Do you really think it was 7 calendar days? However many days it takes to completion. And so there's always forgiveness. There's forgiveness when the person cuts you off in traffic. Remember, my husband Michael has the saying when somebody gets in front of him, he drives and goes, "Namaste, welcome to my lane." instead of wanting to raise the fingers up, he just goes, namaste, welcome to my lane. But it's so important. You cannot do true forgiveness if you don't forgive yourself first. It is key. Let's show that next one, please. Love yourself. Accept yourself. And be good to yourself. Now, I'm going to tell you, part of that 4-day seminar, one of the first nights, the exercise was to go home and look in the mirror and say to yourself, I love myself, I accept myself, even though I don't understand myself. I love myself, I accept myself, even though I don't understand myself. And most of us really don't understand ourselves, do we? We want to think we do. But it was a key point there, right? And then be good to yourself, because listen to this line, without you, the rest of us are without a source of many wonderful things. Without you, the rest of us are without a source of many wonderful things. You have so much to contribute in this world. I have so much to contribute in this world, but I was trying to contribute rooted in this anger. And once I forgave him, not the act, I freed myself. I became free. And when I became free, it was like the solar eclipse, right? I was barely shining with a little bit of light. But once I did this, it's like, wow, there's Kathy again. I didn't even know she was gone. But when you do this, and has anybody in here done any forgiveness at all? I'm hoping everybody has something, right? Yes. And how'd you feel afterwards? Relieved. Yes. Even when the receiver doesn't accept it. I know I felt relief. It didn't matter. It didn't matter to me. I was done. That song, I guess that's why it so speaks to me. The Unity song, I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited right now. Let's go to that next one. When you forgive, you heal. When you let go, you grow. And guess what? That was the moment I stepped into this church accidentally, cried my eyes out, because wait till they all find out, right? Because there was another situation that happened too, and I had to do forgiveness on myself. I think there's a book coming out of me about forgiveness, because it seems to be a recurring lesson for me. Couldn't we all, right? I tell you, I'm going to the Daily Word today because it spoke to me, and I'm not sure. I don't think we have the slides for it. It's part of the Daily Word today, and I'm going to repeat it to you because this part hit me. I pray for willing. Here it is. If I am, I'm going to start this section. If peace eludes me, I open myself to anything that may be blocking its flow. So if you are not feeling peaceful today, this afternoon, tonight before you go to bed, right? I invite anything that may be blocking me to come forward for healing. If I am holding on to resentment or unforgiveness, I pray for the willingness to forgive, affirming Divine love through me forgives and releases all bitterness. If fear and worry seep into my thoughts, I remember God is the only presence and power active in the universe. We say that every week, people, in the affirmation. This is principle, unity is 5 principles. This is principle 1 and 2. The God is and I am. God is infinite intelligence, all-knowing, ever-present, everywhere. And I am a part of that. So how can I be anything but light if I am a part of that? I remember that God is the only presence and power. This is the daily word, people. Faith dissolves fear and restores people. Restores peace. Restores people too. I align my thoughts and feelings with God's indwelling presence. There's the key word. Indwelling presence. No longer do I search for God out there. I know that God is within me, and that full spectrum sun is me. It is me. I'm going to end from something that comes from the Course in Miracles. For you students, lesson 62. I'm not going to read it all because it's rather lengthy, but I'm going to hit some high parts. And the section is titled, Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. It is your forgiveness that will bring the world of darkness to light. Oh, I love that. Forgiveness is the demonstration that you are the light of the world, and through your forgiveness does the truth about yourself return to your memory. Therefore, in your forgiveness lies your salvation. That is why all forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Each time you forgive, you call upon the strength of the Christ in you. Do you not then begin to understand what forgiveness will do for you? It will remove all sense of weakness, strain, and fatigue from your mind. It will take away all fear and guilt and pain. It will restore you. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. That could have been our affirmation for today. Let's say that one. Forgiveness is my function as the light of this world. Forgiveness is my function as the light in this world. I want to close today because I'll tell you, forgiveness is a big subject. We probably could do a 4-week series on it. There is so much. And how interesting is it that when I chose this, I'm going to the next chapter, which I'm loving this book, 8 Habits of Love. I recommend it. It's one to keep on your shelf forever. And guess what the habit is this week? The habit of forgiveness. Anybody familiar with Colin Tipping's work, Radical Forgiveness? Oh, another one. I keep giving these away and have to go get another one. So I'm just telling you, this is a really good one if you want to practice forgiveness. And Kim, what did...
I just literally watched a movie the other night called The Shack.
Oh... Forgiveness, it's The Shack, the movie The Shack, that's also a book. It's been around for quite a long time now. We've covered that many years ago, but thank you for reminding us. That's a good one. Good one, yes. I love recommending movies. Thank you for that recommend. So with that, again, let's say the affirmation today, please. Every time I forgive, I move into self-healing and self-empowerment. True forgiveness frees me. Every time I forgive, I move into self-healing and true forgiveness frees me. How's that feel? Yeah, namaste. Namaste, the Christ presence, the forgiving Christ presence in me truly sees and honors that forgiving Christ presence in each and every one of you. May all your transgressions be written in the sand, and may all your good things today be written in stone. Namaste.